Hi everybody, Sam White here, founder at Shakespeare in Detroit, and welcome to our 2024 year-end review. But before we start that, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. You don't want to miss any digital content coming from your favorite classical theater in the city of Detroit, Shakespeare in Detroit. So 2024, it was a busy year, as are most years at Shakespeare in Detroit. We started 2024 in schools with our STEAM program. We've been embedded in schools since fall 2019, so it's been several years. This past school year, beginning in January, we were at Western High School in Southwest Detroit, Clifford Academy also in Southwest Detroit. We were also at the James and Grace Lee Boggs School, which is on the east side. And then we were also spending some time at the school at Marygrove and Caesar Chavez Academy in 2024. So we started our year teaching our STEAM program. STEAM, if you don't know, it stands for the science of lighting, the technology of sound design, the engineering of a form, for us that's a costume, the art of classical performance, and the mathematics of set building. We teach both educational or vocational rather, and artistic skills to youth from the ages of 8 to 18. And then in the summer, we have a conservatory, which is an extension of the work that we do in classrooms. So at the beginning of this year, beginning of 2024, we were in schools at the schools that I mentioned. While in schools, we were also in pre-production and then finally in rehearsals. And then we had a production of William Shakespeare's As You Like It. We performed that at the DIA in partnership with the Detroit Institute of Arts. We made the show a TYA performance, which means theater for young audiences. So the mood, the feeling, the world, the way it was performed and directed was all with young people in mind. And so we did an As You Like It. The idea around this As You Like It was to serve as a complement to the DIA's exhibit of Regeneration, which celebrated Black cinema, from the end of the sort of vaudeville era into the 1970s. We chose to speak on the vaudeville era, so our show took place in the Victorian era and celebrated vaudeville. And so we did a really fun version of As You Like It inside of the Danto Lecture Hall in the DIA. And we had less than 3,000. We probably had about 2,700 students see the show, and then maybe 300 adults, because we had 10 student matinees and then 2 public performances. Although one of our student matinees ended up being canceled because of illness due to one of our actors becoming ill. Gratefully, we're so grateful they had a full recovery, and we were able to share the show with 2,700 students and 300 adults. So a total of about 3,000 people saw that performance, that TYA, Theater for Young Audiences performance of As You Like It. I cut the play, and then the play it included about 9 actors from around the city of Detroit. We had one visiting actor from New York City, and it was great. It was lovely. We were able to share Shakespeare with students in the city, and that was incredible because it's always our goal to be able to share Shakespeare as widely as we can. So we had our youth programming in schools, then we had our TYA performance, and then we had our youth production of William Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, which you can actually view right here on YouTube, and we'll place the link in the description of this video, so make sure you click on the link if you want to see our youth production of William Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. So we filmed it inside of the wonderful theater here at Marygrove. I'm currently at Marygrove, which is our home base at Shakespeare in Detroit, inside of the lovely Proscenium Theater, which is right upstairs from where I'm sitting. And then we had a public performance at Clark Park in Southwest Detroit, and 300 plus, almost 400 people saw that public performance by our youth. I'm so happy to share. I think the thing that I'm proud always of Shakespeare in Detroit, because I think anytime a young theater, because we're still very young, we're only 11 years old, we'll be 12 in the new year, but anytime you can produce a season, that is a huge win, because producing theater is no small feat. producing theater in the Rust Belt specifically is no small feat, and maybe I'll make a video about that later or in the future. And doing this sort of work is, specifically I think classical work, is never an easy thing. And so I'm so proud that we were able to produce a season in 2024 with our TYA production of As You Like It at the DIA, and then our film of Julius Caesar, and our public performance at Clark Park in Southwest Detroit. And that performance, by the way, all of those performances were totally free. So the work that we did, all of the work that we did this year was totally, completely, 100% accessible to our community. And it was so great that we were able to perform at the museum in Midtown, and then also have our work presented in Southwest Detroit in a neighborhood park. I love that. I'm from Detroit, born and raised, and so the work that we produce at Shakespeare in Detroit is very personal for me, because I want to make sure that some of the opportunities that I've had in my life because of Shakespeare and theater, it's all due to exposure, right? And so I think that the more opportunities that we have at Shakespeare in Detroit to expose specifically young people to this work, it's just an incredible honor to be able to facilitate that to my hometown. It's very cool. But I think the thing that I'm most proud of this year in 2024, as the founder of Shakespeare in Detroit, and as the producer and the leader of this organization, I'm so proud of the fact that we've given away nearly $60,000 in scholarships since we started our youth conservatory. So initially we wanted to start our youth conservatory in 2020. Obviously we weren't able to do that because there was a global pandemic, but we did kick things off for the summer conservatory in 2021, which means that 21, 22, 23, 24, for the past 4 years, we have given away scholarships at the end of the youth conservatory. Students are in intensive training with us for 5 to 6 weeks, and then they have to present a play, which is their graduation. And at the end of that, they all get scholarships, which are intended to advance their education in theater arts, vocational skills, or whatever they want to pursue in their lives as students. And so they receive these scholarships. And again, so far, we've given away nearly $60,000. The goal for me is, as the person leading Shakespeare in Detroit currently, is to give away $100,000. I think once we hit that goal, that's going to be a huge, huge moment for us at the theater company, and personally, a really beautiful moment for me, because that's been a goal of mine since I created Shakespeare STEAM back in 2019. And so we're doing the work, and that was something that I was really, a milestone that we hit with the $60,000 in scholarships. That was a milestone that we hit this year that I'm very, very proud of. So yeah, we produced 2 shows this year. Again, As You Like It, a TYA performance. It was for young audiences, but all of the actors and players were semi-professional actors. And then we had Julius Caesar with our youth actors, an extension of the work that we do in classrooms throughout the school year. And then we had one reading of a play that I love very much by a playwright who I admire very much. The play that we read was God Kind of Looks Like Tupac. This was our second time presenting that play or reading that play. We also read it last year, one time at Marygrove, here at Marygrove, our home base, and we also read it at Rochester Public Library this year in 2024. We read it at Detroit Public Library, the main branch, and that was really cool. We also had a couple of other special activities at libraries throughout the city. We did some special events at 3 special events at recreation centers around the city in partnership with the Gilbert Family Foundation. And shout out to the Gilbert Family Foundation and the Max M. and Marjorie S. Fisher Foundation, who were our presenting sponsors for our work in 2024, along with the DIA. Thank you to Michigan Humanities for making God Kind of Looks Like Tupac possible. Thank you to the National Endowment for the Arts and Shakespeare in American Communities for helping make our TYA performance of As You Like It possible. Thank you so much to the Michigan Council of Arts for making, MCAA, for making this last season possible. Thank you to Greektown Casino, or Hollywood Casino at Greektown, for making the work possible, along with the DTE Energy Foundation for making Shakespeare in Detroit's 2024 season possible. We're so grateful. We also had some additional support from the Kresge Foundation, from the Herb Family Foundation, and also from For Friends Foundation. And we also have a new partner for 2025, and that's the Walters Family Foundation. So we're so grateful that so many people, so many foundations and funders believe in the work that we're doing so that we can pay it forward to our community, specifically our young people in 2024. They were the focus for the work this year, and we're excited to continue to enrich our young people in the community in 2025. I will say though, in 2020, the latter part of 2025, we are planning to come back with more professional work. It's been a little over a year. Our last professional show was 2023 when we did The Tempest at Campus Martius. So I'm not prepared to announce the season just yet for 2025-26. That would be the fall season, the fall season will begin the 2025-2026 season. But stay tuned to this channel. That's why you want to subscribe, so that you don't miss any incredible, exciting news from your favorite classical theater, Shakespeare in Detroit. So that was 2024. 2024 also, it was interesting too for me as the person leading the organization, because I spent about half the year outside of Detroit. So there were a lot of people who really helped make the season possible while I was working remotely with Shakespeare in Detroit. In January, I was in Indiana working on a play called Pipeline. And then that was followed by my work at the Stratford Festival in the spring. And then this past fall, I worked at the Old Globe by way of the MFA Shiley graduate program. So I've been in and out actually this whole year, and there's been some awesome people helping to keep things moving along in 2024. Oh, by the way, we also had our annual, I should have mentioned this earlier or sooner. I just totally, I'm speaking from the heart, not from notes, so things may be a little out of order, but in April of 2024, this year, we also had our annual Sonnet Slam. And so we partner with Inside Out Literary Arts and their poets versus our Shakespeare sonneteers. We have a friendly competition of sonnets, contemporary poetry versus Shakespeare sonnets, and there's a winner in the end. We've lost all 3 years that we've had this event, but it's all for just good fun. And so we thank all the judges and the people who participated in that awesome event. We're going to come back in 2025 and maybe, knock on wood, we might even win this upcoming year. We'll see. It's all in good fun. But that was something else that we did in 2024. But the biggest lesson from 2024 for me as the person who founded this organization and who is going to move the organization forward over the next 2 to 3 years and make sure that it outlasts me, that it's bigger than me. The biggest thing that I realized as an arts leader is that Shakespeare in Detroit, wow, what a miracle this organization is. I mean, we started 3 weeks after the city filed for bankruptcy, which was a miracle within itself. Because remember, around that time, even the DIA was thinking about essentially having a garage sale on these gorgeous, beautiful paintings and works of art that they had in their museum to try to make the city whole. 3 weeks after the city filed for bankruptcy, Shakespeare in Detroit did Othello right in the middle of downtown Detroit. So I really think that our beginnings were quite a miracle, and we garnered a lot of attention for doing what we did and what we do. And that's so exciting. Shakespeare in Detroit has always had this incredible energy around it. And we've always had, I think, lots of support for projects, from project to project to project. What I'm excited about earning over the next couple of years, though, is infrastructure. That's something that we haven't had. Sure, we have a home now here at Mary Grove, and as you can see, this space is so cute, and it's just what the doctor ordered. We have our own office, and we also have a costume shop right next door from this office here. But by infrastructure, I mean having the team and having the resources to not just have shows or productions or do projects or special events, but to really build a team, to really build funding and resources from the inside out, meaning, we want to have longevity, and that means that we have to have a strong strategic plan and sustainability plan and succession plan. We need to have team members who have the experience, the capacity, the energy and the capability of growing a startup organization, specifically a creative startup organization, and having people who are really committed to making something grow. You know, recruiting, strategizing, planning, committing time and energy to this thing to make it sustainable, so that it's not just centered around one person. You know, even though that person has a lot of energy and enthusiasm for the work in her hometown, it has to be bigger than just you know. And so I'm looking forward to, over the next couple of years, really focusing on building the infrastructure that the organization needs to not just produce product, production here, production there, special event here, special event there, but really have a team in place that can grow this organization creatively or artistically, financially, business-wise, and really take it into the next generation of Shakespeare in Detroit. And really be a classical theater for this incredible city that deserves to have a stable classical theater within its boundaries. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I'm looking forward to in the coming years, 2024. So again, anytime you can make a season happen, it's an incredible honor and miracle, you know. And thanks again to all of the funders and the individual donors and our Patreon members as well, who help sustain this work from year to year. I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you for everybody who gives us well wishes every year. I'm such a big proponent of good energy in our space, and having people on this mission who really get it, who understand that while businesses may bring people to Detroit, businesses may bring people into this city, the thing that's going to make them stay is their quality of life, and theater experiences, entertainment is a part of that. So thank you to those of you who understand that, who believe in those values, who support Shakespeare in Detroit. I am so grateful for you. I hope that you are happy with the work that we did in 2024. And before that, I hope you get excited about more to come in 2025. I hope your holiday season is going well. I'm looking forward to spending time with family on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and really kicking off, I think, a really impactful 2025. So stay tuned for more to come from Shakespeare in Detroit. I appreciate you tuning in for our year-end review. I'm so grateful for all of you. I'm so grateful for all that this year taught us. I'm so grateful for what we were able to exchange as artists and audience members. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Bye.